Good morning, YouTube. This is Lisa from Lisa's Weekend Lookbook, and I wanted to share a story with you guys. This isn't about, again, glamour. It is about probably marriage and commitment and dedication and what marriage represents. I had an opportunity last night to go to a luncheon, and I got to listen to a speaker by the name of Merlyna Valentine, and her story it blessed me so much. And I was like, I have to share this with you guys. Because with Valentine's Day coming, we get so caught up in love, and some people don't even like to go to work on Valentine's Day because they can't take the flowers and roses and candies and cards and teddy bears that are being delivered to people. You know, it drives them crazy because they're like, I'm lonely, I don't have anybody, I'm depressed. And, you know, it just seemed fitting to share this testimony, you know, because when you realize that marriage isn't about Valentine's Day or anything else, marriage is so much more than that. It is a total commitment. Now, Valentine's Day comes once a year, as is Christmas and you know, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, you know, but Valentine's Day, because it is supposed to be the day of love, and, you know, and it's fun to celebrate. I mean, me and my husband celebrated, but it's just not anything. I mean, if you are alive and healthy, you should celebrate Valentine's Day, whether you're single or not. You know, you should still celebrate you, because love doesn't say it has to be the love of another person. It can be love of self. You have to, if you are alive for Valentine's, celebrate you. And I'm going to go into this woman's testimony to show that love in their relationship is way more than Valentine's Day. Now, their story, their last name is Valentine, and they did happen to meet on Valentine's Day. But their whole life changed. She had a kidney stone, and her kidney stone, they didn't know it was blocking her. They didn't know what it was. So it sat in her system, blocking her kidney for I don't know how long, to the point by the time she got to the hospital, the 4th hospital, she said they kept saying, we don't know, go here. We don't know, go here. We don't know, go here. So when she finally got to the last hospital, they told her she was 30 minutes from death. Her body at that point was going into septic shock. Her organs were starting to shut down. They gave her family a 10% chance that she would survive. When her body started to go into that septic shock, her extremities started to turn black from gangrene. So they advised her for some reason to she knew she was going to have a amputation, but for some reason they told her to leave them on and continue to work out, which I don't understand why, but continue to work out, because I guess they figure if you have, I don't know, that part I didn't understand. But anyway, eventually she did have to have all of her extremities. She had to have both. She lost both of her hands and both of her legs below her knee. She was engaged to be married at the time. And we would expect that the guy would be like, no, and they were just dating when that happened. But she did say that he never left her. He stayed there at the hospital with her. They taught him how to care for her wounds and everything. He learned wound care. So he learned how to take care. This was before the wedding. But he still married her, and he wanted to marry her sooner. And she said, no, not until I get my prosthetic legs on, because I'm going to walk down that aisle. And that is exactly what she did. That is love. That is marriage. That is what it's all about. She was telling us that she was determined, because she was a principal over a school, and she said she was determined that she was going to go back to school, be principal, and they said, you're going to have to quit, you're not going to be able to do this job. And she was like, oh, I'm doing the job, I'm going back to do the job. And she said that it was supposed to be 6 months that she wanted to be back in school, but she said nope. So she took 6 weeks and said, I need to work out 3 times a day for 6 weeks because I need to be back in school. And she said not only was she back in school, but she said she did the bus stop with the kids getting off the bus, because that is how determined she was to get off. So she got her hands and her prosthetic hands and her prosthetic legs, and she walked back in that school. And this principal, not only over that school, but she's like over the whole district. Like her story is amazing, and I'm gonna put her information in the link so that you guys can follow her. Like I'm gonna put her link, I'm sorry, in my YouTube page, so you guys can go and read her testimony. Her story is amazing. But the one thing that she said that really stuck with me is that I can't do anything in the morning until my husband puts me together. That's what she calls it. She said that her kids named her prosthetic legs Jack and Jill, and her hands Hansel and Gretel. And she said until her husband puts Jack and Jill on and Hansel and Gretel on, she can't do nothing. He does her hair. He has to do her makeup. He does everything for her. She said she can't do anything until he puts her together. That's marriage. That's love. That's way more than Valentine's Day, because she needs him every single day to do that for her. If he don't do that, she ain't moving. If he don't do that, she ain't getting out of bed. Like, she pretty much has to rely on him. And there is a picture on her page of her and him laying in the bed without her legs and hands on. And, and we met him. I got a chance to meet him last night, and he was like, hey, when you love somebody, you do whatever you have to do for that person to stay alive. She had a 10% chance of survival. This man is proud of her. He's not embarrassed. He's not sad. And she said, they asked her, if you had to go back again and start all over with the hospitals, would you go back and do anything different? And she said no, because I have so much more of an appreciation for life, even this way. She said, I love my new life. She said, it doesn't stop me from golfing. It doesn't stop me from doing anything that I want to do. I've met so many wonderful people, and we took pictures with her. We did everything with her last night, and she was just giving us her testimony. So her story is absolutely incredible. She beat so many odds. She is not only the principal of her school, but she is over the district of that whole area. She travels. She's a motivational speaker. Her life story is absolutely incredible. So she took this thing, this horrible thing that most people would sit and be depressed. I don't know how I would, she was 45 years old, I think, and now all of a sudden you're dependent on somebody to take care of you. But she took this, she calls it living life without limits. She has Merlyna Valentine Consulting. She's been featured on the Today Show and also in Ebony Magazine. She's a speaker, consultant, and a coach. She is an amazing speaker. She blew my mind. And all of this happened from a kidney stone. So at our church, my pastor always talks about marriage, and he always uses hypotheticals, and you don't know what situation you're going to be in, and when you hear it, you're like, yeah, well, maybe, But this is like real. Like, this is like for real. You don't know what situation you can find yourself in. You know, when you want to get married, you want to marry somebody who will take care of you, who will be there for you if you get sick. You don't know what is going to happen to you in your life. You don't know what situation is going to come up. So I say all that to say this: celebrate you. I'm going to put her contact information or her information in the link below. Copy it. Go watch her. You know, watch her videos. Listen to her. She will encourage you, because she definitely encouraged me. Have a good day, YouTube, and thanks for listening.